Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a customer success specialist here at Kanda, and today for our training, I'm going to take you through how to build a quote in Kanda, what it looks like on the customer side, and explain payouts as well as some helpful tips and tricks. So when you first log into Kanda, this is what you'll see. This is your homepage. You'll have the option here to invite team members to your account and also update your website with our legal disclaimer. And once these are done, you can get rid of the options here. And then down here is where you'll see your dashboard. Now, a quick disclaimer, this is my training account, hence why 29 jobs have been sent out, but only 2 have been approved. I promise your numbers will look a lot healthier than this. But the purpose of this dashboard is basically just to give you an overview on how Kanda is working for you. You can see your approval rate, how much finance revenue you have, without you having to go through each individual job and try to figure it out for yourselves. Now, the main tab you're likely going to be using is this jobs tab up here in the middle. So if I click into there, here you'll see a list of all your jobs, and you'll see the customer name, the price, the job title, and you'll be able to click into these to get more information on those jobs. However, I'm going to save that part for a little bit later on in our recording and start with how to build a quote in Kanda first of all. What you'll do is just click new job up here, this green button here. Now, there are a couple of ways to build a quote with Kanda. You can manually build one by clicking into this button here, or you can upload a PDF quote of yours here, and our AI tool will actually pre-fill all the information for you, and so it'll save you a bit of time, and it'll look a little something like this. So it'll build out that job title for you, your price, your VAT, your job type, any customer information you wish, including the customer's details. And then from there, you can look at deposit and rates. If you want to manually build your quote, we can go into a bit more information now. So you'll just go on build a Kanda quote, and up here you can put in your job title. You can also add a title here and add as many line items as you like. You can also include a description, your price, and your VAT here. Job type. We ask that you pick a job type that is as close as possible to the type of work that you're doing. We have plenty to choose from. You won't be able to see here because it doesn't show on my screen, but I have a list of job types that I can complete. To add any work types, you can do so here, and later on in the video I'll show you how you can also do it from your job settings. So for my job type, I've gone with boiler swap. You can also add a customer note if you wish, completely optional, and then your customer's details, so their name, email, phone number, and their address. Next, we have our deposit and rate. You can either take no deposit, a percentage of your cost, or a fixed deposit. The deposit is entirely between you and your customer, so there is no finance or fee on it, and it will be up to you to collect this from your customer. Now we can take a look at the rates that we want to offer. So on my account, I have 2 0% options as well as 2 interest-bearing options. And with Kanda now, it is easier than ever to customize which rates you would like to offer your customer, and you can do so by simply going to your settings or by following this link up here. So if we go through here, then you just scroll down here to finance rates. So from here, you can pick and choose which rates you would like to add to your account alongside the subsidy fees on here. And now Kanda does offer the option of a 14.9% APR starting from a 0% subsidy fee, which does cover most work types. Something to be aware of is that once you have selected a rate for your account, it can take up to a week for it to be added. And once it is added, it will be locked for at least a month before we can review removing it from your account if that is something you wish to do. Also, not every rate can be offered for every work type, so it is important to double check you have the right work type in your quote to ensure you are offering the correct rates to your customer. So now we're back on our quote, and here we can take a look at our rates. So the unregulated rates can be turned on and off on a job-by-job basis. It is entirely up to you if you wish to send these rates to your customer, depending on your job. Whereas the regulated rates are any that are a year or longer, and they cannot be turned off. So this just means that they'll be offered to all of your customers and is something to be aware of when adding rates to your account. The purple number that you can see here is what the minimum monthly payment would be for your customer, and the grey number is what the cost to yourselves would be in terms of the subsidy fee. The subsidy fee will simply be taken off the total amount we give you at the end of your job and will not have to be paid out of your bank account. So once you have selected which rates you want to offer, you will click next. You will review your job details, and then you will click send to your customer. At this stage, we will automatically send an email to your customer with a link for them to apply for finance, which looks like this. So the customer will get a link by email that will bring them to Kanda's checkout page, which looks like this. Here they have an overview of their quote, and they can also download it as a PDF if they wish. They can also look through their options here. If I click here, you've got the 0% option for 10 months or 1 year. They also have this 14.9% APR. Now, Kanda does allow your customer to borrow the funds for up to 10 years and in some circumstances up to 15 years. So a customer will simply choose the amount they wish to borrow. If they decide to borrow less, the deposit goes up, and we will let you know if the deposit does go up so that you can collect the difference. And then once they have decided on their options, they can just tick here and they'll accept the quote and apply now. The process for them to apply takes around 5 minutes, and there are some details that they'll need to fill out. So first they'll read through the terms and conditions. The 3 we like to highlight is they do have to be over 18 and have a UK address history for the last 3 years. They have to have more than 10,000 gross annual income, and they can't currently have any IVAs or CCJs. Tick here, click next, and then it's just some standard information for them to fill out. Personal information, contact details. If they moved into their house within the past year, let's say, then it'll ask for a previous address. In terms of employment, they do have to be employed, self-employed, or retired. They cannot be unemployed, as this will automatically be declined. However, there is also spaces here for household annual income and benefits and pensions. So once they've filled out all this information, they'll tick here, and then they'll submit their application. Now, after they have submitted their application, they are normally accepted or approved within 5 minutes, and we'll let you know whichever is the case. There are times, however, where sometimes their application can go under review, and we'll also let you know when this happens. It just means an underwriter needs to take a look at it, a payslip hasn't quite matched, or a bank statement, and that can normally be resolved within 2 hours. If for any reason the lender feels that they need to have more information on the customer, they'll reach out to the customer themselves. So there's nothing you need to do during this process. Once they've been accepted, we'll also let you know, and you'll be able to find it here. And this green here means that they've been accepted. You can also see here they've been approved. And you can also see the rate that they've chosen, the payout to yourselves, and the subsidy fee, as well as how much of a deposit the customer has opted to pay for. Now at this stage that you can start your work, and once that job is complete, you simply go up here and mark the job as finished. Now that the work is finished, you can see we've automatically sent a satisfaction note to your customer. This satisfaction note is a few questions with yes or no answers to check that the work is done and they're happy with it. In some cases, if it is your first job or a really big job, the lender may give your customer a quick ring to ensure it was them for security purposes that filled the application out. So here we can now see that the SAT note has been signed and Kanda will pay you soon. Payments normally take between 24 to 72 hours and are conducted on weekdays. And that is essentially the process with Kanda. You just fill out your quotes, complete your job, and get paid. Now, there are some tips and tricks I would still like to go through with you. If you go up here and see these 3 dots on the right, you click onto there and you get a menu. So archive job is for if you no longer want to offer finance to a customer, or maybe they no longer want to apply, you can archive the job and the link we send them through email will no longer work. Duplicate, edit and archive is for if you've maybe made a small mistake on your quote, then you can archive the original and then edit the duplicate. And duplicate and edit, it can be used if you have a quote that's very similar to another quote that you've already created. You can duplicate it and edit it to save yourself some time. And then lastly, download as PDF is as it says. We also have up here our phone number. Our phone line is open Monday to Friday. So if you have any questions regarding a job you need checking in on, or some help with your account, feel free to contact us through this number. We also have this question mark here, which if you click, you get a chat box. Now, feel free to use this at any time, but we do especially recommend using it if for whatever reason there is a bug or an error on your screen. This will take a screenshot and then it will help our team diagnose the problem a lot quicker than trying to describe what the issue is over the phone. And then lastly, up here, we have our account settings. Now in here, you can edit which work types you do. You can also look at the finance rates that I showed you earlier. And in your team settings, you can also invite as many team members as you wish and can control their account roles here if you want them to only send and see their own jobs or have full ownership, entirely up to you. So now you know how to use Kanda. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out and we will be more than happy to help.